So, the video today is going to be about college essays and writing your Common App and supplemental essays, which are one of the key points of your college application. So, the college essays are the one thing that you can control when writing your applications. So, when you sit down to fill out your applications, be it in September or December, by that point, your grades are what they are. Your GPA can't really be changed when you're applying at that moment. Of course, you can change it over the years, but your GPA is what it is. Your extracurriculars, you've done what you've done. There's nothing really there to change and make stand out. But your college essay is something that matters a lot and really lets the admissions officers at the schools you're applying to get to know you and really see what you are, who you are as a person. And it's one of the most important parts of the application because admissions officers, they just want to make sure you're a real person and actually can think and you're not just a list of accomplishments. So for me, my Common App essay, I wrote about how my struggle with self-confidence because of a skin disease inspired me to help others through unified basketball and my future career choice. So I combined some different aspects that you might not see in the rest of my application, such as my future career and what I wanted to work in, and how my skin disease and really that struggle throughout my life. That's something that you might not see otherwise in my application, which is really important. You want your essays not just to be repeating all of your accomplishments or activities. You really want to either pick something to go deep into or expand on something, because you want to use these essays to your advantage to say as much as you would like. For my supplemental essays, I wrote them from everything from how Severus Snape in Harry Potter is not a good person and did not deserve redemption, to how I want to work at the CDC and how I did a program at the CDC this summer. So you can really write supplemental essays and your Common App essays on anything, as long as you can fit it within the prompts and really just make it your own, make it creative. So this is also, now I'm going to have show the interviews of the other IB seniors with some of their ideas so you can get inspiration. Disclaimer, these ideas are not to be copied. These are only for inspiration, and we're just going to say the topics. And every essay should be unique to yourself, so you're really not doing yourself a favor. You're really more hurting yourself if you copy someone else's idea that doesn't fit with who you really are. So let's go. Did you write your college essay on? What was the broad topic of it?
I wrote my college essay on empathy and caring for others, and I feel like that's a skill that I have that I could really put to work in the nursing field.
Mm-hmm. Did you have anything you really struggled with while writing your college essay or supplemental essays, and what did you do to get through that challenge?
So I'd say the biggest challenge was time management and just sitting down and getting it done. I felt like once I sat down and started writing, it was pretty easy to get the words on the paper, but it was just finding the time, especially during a busy college fall.
Do you have any tips or advice for rising seniors when writing essays for college applications?
I would definitely say have your teachers edit them. I'd say have your parents look at them. And really have a cohesive outline before you go in and don't just start writing.
Mm-hmm. So why did you struggle with while writing the essays on your supplemental essays for colleges? And do you have any tips or advices about college essays?
Honestly, I kind of struggled with just getting words on paper because I didn't really know what I was doing. And it was just tricky to figure out what I wanted to say and trying to sound professional, because colleges are reading this and they're kind of judging you based on what you write.
Mm-hmm.
For tips and tricks, I would just say do a lot of peer editing and have your friends, have teachers, have counselors look at your essays to kind of help you along.
So would you be comfortable sharing just the broad topic of your college essay?
My college essay was about lifeguarding, and basically in that I talked about my ADHD, because it's hard to lifeguard when you have ADHD, and confidence because I'm very tall, and when I was lifeguarding I had to move umbrellas and people yell at you a lot, so I gained a lot of confidence. So basically just a whole bunch of things, but the subject was lifeguarding.
Okay, and do you have any tips or advice for writing your college essays or supplementals?
I think that it doesn't always have to be a traumatic experience. A lot of people write about facing adversity and going through a hard time, which if you have that, great, but I'm pretty privileged and I grew up pretty privileged, and I was nervous at first, but I think that you can basically write about anything and it's more fun and like interesting, and you'll get more involved if you're not trying to force something that you don't really have. So just do whatever like you want to talk about, and it can be anything. You can turn anything into a story.
What was the hardest part for you while writing the essays? What did you struggle with the most?
The word count. That was very hard because I talk a lot and I give a lot of detail, and you had to cut it down.
So how did you cut down your word count? Did you use any strategies to do that?
I just kind of said like I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to tell that story, and it was kind of sad because like I'd write like a funny line and I'd have to cut it, but like as long as you're getting your story across, then it's not like about like the technique, like the important details.
Say like the broad topic of your college essay, and if you had any struggles while writing your college essay.
So don't do what I did. Do not leave your college essays to the last minute. I know you want to, most likely. Don't do that. It's a terrible idea. It worked out fine for me. I think I'm going to the right place for me. But it did add a lot of additional stress. My college essay was pretty general. It wasn't really profound or anything. It was about my struggles with being an athlete who was never really that athletic and having to work towards something, and just kind of being put down a lot when it came to sports and athletics, and trying to like build myself back up in order to go to the Coast Guard Academy and in order to go to other service academies. And I liked my essay, I liked my topic, I just wish I hadn't left it to the last minute.
And then if you're comfortable, could you just say what the broad topic of your college essay was, and if you had any struggles while writing it?
By college essay, you mean like
The Common App, yeah.
So it was basically about an experience or an event that changed my perspective, changed who I was really. I decided to choose, when I was in my sophomore year, I got bullied a lot in the soccer program. And it really changed my perspective on how I should take my life, how I should keep things to myself, worry about myself, not what others think about me. And it kind of just changed my perspective, and that's what I wrote about.
Okay, and was there anything you struggled with or had problems with, and how did you work through that?
I think the only problem I had was actually trying to get all the words in my head out onto the paper in the word limit.
Yeah.
And the way I combated that was just, I got everything in my head out and then just started taking stuff out to make sure I can fit the requirements.
Do you have any advice for seniors as they start to write their college essays or supplemental essays?
I do know a lot of people, they worry about the word limit that the colleges require. I'd say first, just write everything you possibly can in your head down onto a piece of paper. If you can't choose a college essay topic, just create outlines for each topic and then choose the best one. And then slowly by slowly, start taking words out, start taking unnecessary things out. And I wouldn't procrastinate on this essay. I'd spend at least start maybe during your summer vacation, because you do want it to be a pretty it's basically your first impression, and you want it to be good.
Yeah. And if you had any struggles while writing the essays?
So I think my topic was about, I remember talking about being a camp counselor and kind of how that helped me grow as a person who's not too confident in themselves to slightly more, especially with people skills, because I did not have a lot of those. I think the hardest part of the college essay for me was at least picking a topic. That took a bit, and also just kind of getting it started in general. Once I had it started, I wrote it all. I think I had to write it for something else, so I had a really short amount of time to write it in. So that was interesting, but also just doing a lot of editing of it. That's always good. Reading over, making sure it is the best, because it's the one that gets sent to, at least the main one is the one that gets sent to everyone. And for those supplemental essays, don't leave them to last minute, because that last week before those January deadlines was terrible.
Broad topic of your college essay, and did you have any struggles while writing it?
My college essay was basically about how living in a household with a lot of family, not only my brothers and sisters, but my grandparents and my aunt, has shaped me into the person that I am today and kind of like made me want to go down the career path that I want to go down.
And did you have any difficulties or struggles?
I did. I had a really hard time figuring out my topic and then narrowing it down to one singular topic.
Do you have any advice for seniors as they try to come up with a topic?
I think that like you can literally write about anything. So finding a super broad topic that you can then narrow down, and there's no bad topic for a college essay.
Say what like the broad topic of your college essay was, and if you had any struggles while writing it.
Sure. So I decided to write my college essay on deciding why I wrote my extended essay in Spanish, which is kind of hard to wrap your head around. But the extended essay, for anyone that doesn't know, is a 4,000-word research paper that gets sent to IB. And originally, I had a really hard time deciding what I wanted to write my EE on. And I went to my IB advisor, Miss Donovan, and she recommended that since I wanted to be a Spanish teacher, colleges would really like to see me write an EE completely in Spanish. So that's what I did. So I wrote my college essay on coming to that decision. As far as any struggles, I think the hardest thing for me was time managing everything, because I was also researching colleges and researching specific programs. So it was hard to like write a draft for my college essay. And I was also writing a draft for my EE at the same time, which is also funny. So just trying to do everything at the same time was probably the biggest challenge.
And do you have any advice for rising seniors who are starting to write their college essays?
I would definitely structure out time each day to do so. I definitely think waiting last minute is not going to do any good. I would just start outlining as well. I made many different outlines and kind of like info dump just on a Google document, anything that comes to mind, and then start making outlines through those ideas and then start paring down what you feel most confident and most comfortable with.
And if you're comfortable, could you say just like the broad topic you wrote your college essay on?
I wrote my college essay on some of the clubs I participated in high school.
And did you struggle with anything while writing the essays? And do you have any tips or advice for people when they're going to write their essays?
Yes, definitely. So demonstrate growth. So whenever you do something, don't just tell them what happened. Demonstrate how it helped you grow intrinsically as a person, not just the event that happened. And that'll be your biggest help to admissions counselors. They'll show you that there's not only that you're going to participate in their programs at their college, but also show that how your college or how a college will allow you to grow further, like high school was able to allow you to grow. So it's continued upward growth.
So as you've seen throughout this video, everyone wrote their college essay on very different things, but one thing it all had in common was that it was personal to them, and it was something unique. You want to make sure that your college essay is not just a played out topic. You want it really to be unique and something that the admissions officers will remember. So I hope you use some of these ideas for inspiration. Of course, not to copy. Again, that will not be helping yourself. You need a topic that's really unique and personal to you to really be successful. And I hope some of the advice people have given will be helpful. So I hope you enjoyed.